Yeah, let me do it.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, present you live as a champ. Her last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. Smackdown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Wrestling with Savage begins now.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Wednesday night live from Buffalo, New York at the KeyBank Center. AEW coming to you live tonight, and it looks like we're being kicked off by none other than the man himself. MJF is making his way to the ring. Obviously, he's going to have a lot to say. We're going to sit here. We're going to find out exactly what he has to say as we watch Wrestling with Savage. And we have a lot of questions for tonight. A lot of people in the comments are going to probably be asking, where is Jay? Now, last time I checked, honestly, I think Jay has been kidnapped by Uncle Howdy or maybe Bo Dallas. Jay, I hope you're okay. I hope Bo Dallas brings you back to New York in tip-top condition. And thank you for watching Savage Kingdom. Thank you for watching Mick Thomason. And yeah, I did get your message, but Mick, this is my wrestling show, brother. I might put the link out. I might not. I don't know how I'm feeling about it yet tonight. Right now, I want to cover AEW better than anyone I know because I'm watching it on TV and I'm liking what I'm seeing right now with Daniel Garcia approaching the ring. He is approaching the ring. He is showing up. It looks like he has something to say to Maxwell Jacob Friedman, as I'm sure a lot of people in the locker room would have something to say to Maxwell Jacob Friedman if they had the opportunity to talk to him. Because honestly, he's someone that you want to learn from. Look what he did in AEW because of his work. He's been given this absurd amount of money now. He's been given the absurd ability to have full creative control because Tony Khan obviously trusts his talent. And if you have talent, you have to demonstrate talent. You have to show talent. And MJF has done nothing but show talent. Daniel Garcia has done nothing but show talent. And we'll see how the night goes along. Right now, Sean, this is Wrestling with Savage. It's always been Wrestling with Savage. I am Savage. Therefore, I am here, and I am watching Dynamite live. Daniel Garcia says, since we're in Buffalo, New York, everything here is my business. So he's immediately getting in the face of MJF, causing some conflict. But MJF seems cool about it. MJF doesn't even seem to care. And are you surprised by that? That's right, Elliot. It is time for Dynamite. Daniel's saying maybe you're going to say some bad stuff about me or some bad stuff about my family. They're sitting right there. He did say I love his mom, Daniel Garcia. So shout out to that. Shout out for shouting out your mama. Oh, Daniel now stepping it up a little bit, saying, I'm going to do something to you that nobody in the back has done to you before. I'm going to say nice things about MJF. And MJF is like, what? What do you? Go on. He's interested. He says, go on. So Daniel Garcia is not out here to talk trash about Maxwell. He's talking to Max saying, I've been, 9 months ago, I wasn't really doing much around here. He was watching MJF, and obviously he was watching MJF from the back of the locker room because everybody else was. MJF had that spot. He earned it. He was destroying it. Mick, I'm not worried about anybody right now. I'm worried about Dynamite. Dynamite is on TV right now, Mick. It's on TV. All right. I'll bring some people in, maybe, but not yet. Can we find out what's going on with Daniel Garcia? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. So basically, Daniel Garcia is coming out loud and saying, when I challenged MJF for the world title, it was one of the most embarrassing moments in his life. Obviously, because we all know he lost that match. All right. I know, Mick, and I'm just answering, buddy. I love you, Mick Thomason. Mick Thomason, one of the loyal members here of the Savage Kingdom, and we appreciate him being here. But, Mick, I just want to make sure that you understand that it's very important to me to try to put on the best program I can for All Elite Wrestling. I feel like you guys deserve to have a good show. Now, in the ring right now, in Buffalo, New York, seems like Daniel Garcia's hometown, his whole family's in the front row. He's trying to come out here right now and make a benchmark moment. He's cutting a decent promo right now. It's getting a little more personal, getting a little more intense. And listen, at one point, Daniel Garcia was the absolute workhorse of this company. It's a record. It's not even fake. It's on record that he had more main event matches, more matches overall. He had more TV time than anyone for I believe it was 14 months straight. He was killing it. So basically, he's saying if you talk shit now, MJF, you're going to look real two-face. Let's see what MJF has to say to all this. Does MJF even give a crap about this? Do you guys think MJF is two-face? Obviously, he's two-face. He's three-face. He's four-face. MJF is the type of talent that will have as many faces as he sees fit, as he sees that's required. That's who MJF is. MJF is someone that has turned this business upside down and put it on its head. He is the reason why a lot of people watch All Elite Wrestling. He is the reason why a lot of people are loyal to All Elite Wrestling. Now, this Sunday, Forbidden Door, he's taking on Hechicero. And listen, I don't know much about this guy, but we all know MJF is not losing that match in his hometown in Long Island. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this segment here is kind of starting to get a little stale now, so we might want to get into our weekly review of AEW and let you know exactly what happened throughout the week on AEW. We can get into a little bit. Here's a little preview of the matches that were had. All right, just to get your minds flowing a little bit. And in just a few moments, we'll give you the results of those matches and let you know exactly what happened on all the big shows from All Elite Wrestling throughout the week. MJF making it very clear right now. He's very rich, he's very handsome, and many people are very jealous. And I can't help but happen to agree with him because, hell, I'm very rich, I'm very handsome. And I think a lot of people are very jealous, but that's okay. I don't need anybody to worry about that. MJF's not worried about it. And that's the kind of mentality it takes to get to the top. You can't sit there and worry about the feelings and problems of everybody else, because I promise you, if you do, I promise you, if you're going to do, you won't get to where you want to get to. If you have a dream, if you have a belief, if there's something you want to accomplish, your mind has to be locked in and prepared to do whatever it takes to get to that point to achieve your dream, your hopes, your beliefs. You don't need a miracle. You don't need money. What you need is a little guidance from a savage. Write things down, people. Say things out loud. Manifest it. Make it happen. I guarantee you MJF manifested his way to this opportunity right now. Daniel Garcia manifested his way to this opportunity that they have right now live on TV from Buffalo, New York, tonight live on AEW Dynamite. Don't think for 1 minute without hesitation that these two men haven't done everything in their power to manifest what's on their plate. And trust me, they are eating well. I myself recently learned about the power of manifestation and how true and mighty it is. And I am going to manifest this show into one of the greatest wrestling podcasts, if not the greatest wrestling podcast of all time, piece by piece. New upgrades, new equipment, new guests, new content, new shows, private productions, public productions, partnerships, sponsorships. The road is not easy. It will be filled with challenges, just like MJF's career right now is filled with challenges because he has all these obstacles around him week after week. The Rushes, the Daniel Garcias, the Will Ospreys, Swerve Stricklands, the Roman Samoa Joe, the annoying cowboy Hangman Adam Page, and let's not forget about, I don't know, Malachi Black, Pac, Christian Cage, a couple other heavy hitter contenders, guys I think could be world champions, John Moxley, Chris Jericho, Bryan Danielson. Who else? There's got to be a few more that I'm missing. All those guys I just listed, Jay White, everyone I just listed could be a 100% world champion in my eyes. I don't see why it couldn't be a world champion. Now, what I'm going to do now, Mick, okay? The link is in the chat, all right? I don't know why you can't just copy it and join. Sean, the link is in the chat. Everybody has 60 seconds. Every individual that comes in here will get 60 seconds unless you say something silly to speak your mind about AEW. If you have something to say about AEW, don't waste our time. This is the AEW weekly update. We are watching live MJF as it looks like he's having a good time with Daniel Garcia. Okay, now he says this is huge, but we have a problem. Will Ospreay deciding to get out to the ring right now, and let's see if he can get the pop over MJF, over hometown hero Daniel Garcia. We're going to have to find out. I'm not sure if he can do it, but hell, we're going to find out right here live. We know he got the pop over Swerve Strickland, which is absolutely no joke. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. What is Will Ospreay going to have to say to this? Because he's got his own big match coming up. He has his own business to handle, yet he's out here getting in between MJF, Daniel Garcia. He's asking Buffalo to stand up so we can see those beautiful faces. I think he's confused. He must think he's in England or something. But that he thinks he's home. He's not home. Okay. Will is giving props to Daniel Garcia. Says he's been stacking win after win. I don't see a lie detected there. I think Will is about to give this man a match for the International Championship. MJF's just sitting in the back, actually allowing all of this to happen. I guess he has changed, right? That or he's just trying not to get his hands dirty just yet. Which you can't really blame him. Who wants to get his hands dirty? I don't think he wants to get his hands dirty. Do you guys want to see Will Ospreay versus Daniel Garcia? Is that a match you're interested in? Will Ospreay challenging Daniel Garcia to a match right here tonight, asking him if he wants to give these people here the feeling. Next Wednesday, Garcia versus Ospreay for all the gold. Now, MJF's just sitting out there, doesn't have a good look on his face right now. He doesn't look pleased that Ospreay came out here and interjected himself in this segment. They have a little stare down again, but no words shared, no words exchanged between MJF and Will Ospreay. Maybe that's for the better. Save that for another time. That's a great segment, and I'm very interested to see where that storyline is going to go. Daniel over here. MJF saying that you got a huge opportunity right now. So go focus on that. I'm proud of you. Best of luck. He gets out of the ring. He leaves. He's got nothing else to say. Garcia just sitting there contemplating right now. He's out. He's out. He's out. MJF is out. Daniel Garcia's got nothing else to say. You got 60 seconds if you join. No, I'm not keeping anybody in here for the whole show. No, 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 no. 60 seconds. Come in, spit and rip what you have to say about Dynamite, and then keep it moving because we have a lot to cover tonight. A lot to cover, man. It's AEW, but we don't think we're not going to talk a little bit about Money in the Bank. Swerve Strickland here. Now he's got another promo. We just saw MJF. Here's a look at later tonight where we're going to see. We're going to also hear from Mercedes Moné. We're going to have Kyle O'Reilly versus Zack Sabre Jr. The Blackpool Combat Club taking on LIJ. That should be a high-intensity match. And Bryan Danielson will be outside, I believe, Enforcer. Something like that. Or maybe on commentary. Maybe he'll be ringside. Maybe he'll be the referee. I don't know. I guess I could zoom in on it. Let's find out. Let's see. Okay, yeah, he's on commentary, just like I thought, ladies and gentlemen. And then Swerve Strickland teaming up with Will Ospreay to take on the Gates of Agony. And this is another one of those matches that's like, come on, obviously we know who's going to win this match, but what's the point of putting Will and Swerve together? I don't think that serves any purpose. I never like seeing people that want to beat each other up be on the same team. You know what I mean? Nothing good can ever come from it usually. So I wouldn't do it, but hey, who am I? What do I know what I'm talking about, right? We already heard from Daniel Garcia because he interrupted MJF to kick off the show. Jay White scheduled to take on Ray Phoenix, part of the Owen Hart tournament. And let's take a moment to cherish and worship Mariah May here. Yes, please. Yes. All right. Yep. Yep. All in, Mandy Rose. Could we see Mandy Rose at All In? Let me know what you think in the chat if you think we can see Mandy Rose at All In London live. Also, later in the week, Lady Frost taking on Stephanie Vaquer. You have Daniel Garcia taking on The Butcher. And to let everybody in the New York area know, there's a meet and greet going down Friday, June 28th, 2024, from 12 to 3 p.m. at Champs Sports in Times Square. But if you're in Long Island, you can meet Orange Cassidy and -1 from 12 to 2 at the Roosevelt Field Mall. I think I'm going to watch this match. There's a match coming up between Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher tomorrow night for Ring of Honor. And I'm interested to actually see this match because Kyle Fletcher has been very impressive for a long time. And you know, Mark Briscoe, let's just be honest, he's beyond entertaining. We have Forbidden Door coming up very soon. I'm looking forward to that. Sunday, June 30th. Bryan Danielson and Shingo Takagi. I've never even watched that guy wrestle, but I've seen some highlights, but I've never seen a full match of his. Swerve taking on Will Ospreay. Orange Cassidy taking on Zack Sabre Jr. John Moxley in action. Tetsuya Naito for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Toni Storm taking on Mina Shirakawa. And we'll have Mercedes Moné taking on Stephanie Vaquer, which I think I already said that, but I want to know in the chat, who do you guys think is going to win this matchup here? You can also leave a comment and let me know. I think Mercedes is obviously going to win this match. She's having a full guaranteed push right now that's not going to end anytime soon. And MJF taking on Hechicero in his hometown. And probably the most entertaining match of the night is going to be the TNT Championship ladder match. That match is going to be guaranteed a competitive, good, fun match. But right now, I want to take a moment to pay some respect to this man. So a moment of silence for this gentleman who passed away. My heartfelt, sincerest condolences to the entire Anoa'i family. Love for you and prayers at this time. Your father was a father, your uncle, your brother, your cousin. He was so many things to so many people, and everybody that I ever talked to loved this guy. Had nothing but incredible memories and stories. So prayers out to the whole family at this time. Everybody should take a moment and send a prayer out to the Anoa'i family. We're here live. We're watching AEW Dynamite. This is Wrestling with Savage. We appreciate you being here. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe button. We are watching Forbidden Door, Sunday, June 30th. This is pretty much the go-home show for the mainstay shows. They still have Rampage and Collision, but this is the main go-home Dynamite show to build up this show right now. Here's a little peek of what we're going to see tonight. We're also going to see, look at this, Saraya Anna Jay, Harley Cameron taking on Mina, Mariah, and Tony. My. I'm looking forward to that. We already heard from MJF. We're going to hear from Mercedes Moné. We're going to see Kyle O'Reilly versus Zack Sabre. But right now, this is what we're watching, the BCC versus the LIJ, and it's going down right now. Moxley showing out tonight. Wheeler Yuta right now taking the brunt of the damage. All the members of LIJ basically just beating the hell out of Wheeler Yuta. Shoulder tackle, constant punches, and just nonstop tag team. I mean, all three guys are getting a piece of this guy. They're just using each other as weapons. They're slingshotting each other off of Wheeler Yuta, who just took a flying clothesline. And now it looks like he's going to take another move off the high top rope as the masked man flies high cross body. Wheeler Yuta somehow rolls out of it, but gets drop kicked to the outside of the ring. The masked man with a suicide dive connecting head first with a tope suicida head first right in the chest. Wheeler Yuta looks like he could be knocked out, ladies and gentlemen. He gets covered, somehow manages to kick out of that. Moxley, Claudio, they're looking on, very worried, because they obviously love Wheeler Yuta after all this time. And I agree with you, Sean. I absolutely believe Mandy Rose probably to AEW will happen. Oh, look who this guy is. Oh, boy. Claudio Castagnoli now finally gets tagged into the match. And we're watching AEW live here. We're going to bring a gentleman in. He's got 60 seconds to rip it. Whatever he wants to say, talk about, all about AEW for the first time ever. Hopefully not the last time ever, depending on what the hell he's about to say. But ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present to you one of the most hardcore Marty Jannetty fans you will ever meet in your life. His name is Sean Moody. And here you are, sir. 60 seconds. Ready, set, go.
Hey, guess what? Hey, it's AEW Dynamite. It's Wrestling with Savage Wednesday, and it's also the 2024 NBA Draft. Ooh, yeah, brother. There you go, bud.
That was it? Sean Moody? Yeah, the NBA Draft. Isn't the NBA Draft tomorrow?
No, it's today and tomorrow. Today's the first round.
Okay, I'm not worried about the draft. I'm not worried about the draft because drafts at the end of the day, it usually comes down to like 2 or 3 guys that are actually good and the ones that can't get hurt and actually don't bust and become legends. So I try not to hold my stock in too many draft picks anymore.
Hey, they might have the guy from Illinois going to your Knicks, though, so you might want to look out.
My Knicks are already looking very good. I'm not worried about my New York Knicks. They're getting better every year, and hopefully if LeBron has half a brain cell left in his stupid head after wearing that crown for so many goddamn years, he'll come to the Knicks. We'll take your stupid son too. Bring him on over. His ass can sit on the bench. Don't give a shit. He can be the water boy. We'll let that kid play when we're up by 20. What's the problem?
Little Bron sucks.
He's better than me and you at basketball, so that's okay.
Yeah, but him going to the draft just because of his dad's bogus, because he wasn't that great in college. Plus, he had that heart problem.
He had a good combine.
So did Terrence Shannon Jr.
That's okay. Good combine's a good combine. At the end of the day, listen, if you're a manager of a fucking team and you got a chance to get LeBron fucking James while he could still put up 30 fucking points, and the only requirement is that you got to put his son on the bench, oh fucking well, his son's going on the fucking bench. Come on now. Piss me off, Sean.
Well, then Michael should have got. Hey, then Michael should have got his kids to play on the bench with him.
No, but his kids really sucked.
All right, dude, I had my over 60 seconds, dude. Enjoy the show. I'll let you know what happens on the draft.
All right, man. Yeah, keep us posted in the chat with what happens in the draft. We appreciate you, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night, hypothetically, for the Party with Marty podcast. We just got to find Marty. I don't know where the fuck he is. He's somewhere.
Well, I guess I better send my brother down to Columbus.
Maybe, man. Appreciate you, Sean. Have a good night, man.
Later, guys.
All right, Sean Moody there. Thank you for calling in, coming on the show, letting us know what you think about Dynamite. And we talked a little bit about the NBA draft. Dynamite over here, though, they're too busy with their commercials, picture in picture. We have a match on the right side in mini-me fashion, and then you have Mercedes Moné in the big screen picture. So a commercial in a commercial about a commercial for a wrestling show that's already on in picture in picture. If you can take all that in, it's a lot. I get it. I get it. See, how many people could sit here and talk like this for 2 hours, passionately, proudly. We're watching all hell breaking loose as all 6 men are in the ring, but it looks like Moxley's not having it. Of course, you know he's going to the outside. He's on a mission to probably make this guy bleed, sends him into the barricade, gives him the fingers. Moxley still has a bandage on his damn head. Looks like he's had a really rough week. He doesn't look like he's in a good mood. Now, Bryan Danielson, on the other hand, sitting very nice on commentary, looking like he's having the time of his life. Honestly, he's looking like he's waiting to just go back to the WWE, which I think that is what ultimately will happen with Bryan Danielson, just like he got sick of living at the John Cena's house and being on Total Billas, and he'll get sick of AEW and he'll go right back home to the WWE. That's what will happen with not only him, but many of these superstars, including Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley will eventually go get his Hall of Fame. 100%. Mick, I'm not sure what do you mean, what will happen to this show? The only thing that will happen to this show is it will get bigger, better, stronger, and more incredible than ever. Nothing will happen to this show. This is going to go down as the greatest wrestling podcast ever produced by a human being, even if it takes me 39 more years. No one on this planet has what I have. It's one of a kind. Just like Rob Van Dam. Only difference is he's a way better wrestler than me. Way better. Legendary career. And if you had a chance, I would recommend go back and watch the documentary they just did on him. Absolutely brilliant documentary. What's going on, Gianna Forever? Another real one. The link is in the chat. If you want to come in here and drop some shit about AEW or anything in general, you're more than welcome to. Anybody is. I challenge anybody to join. Have your say, have your take. Because I don't need all 2 hours. But you know what, Gianna? I'll take all 2 hours. I'll take all 3 hours. Put me on a wrestling show and tell me to talk for 3.5 hours. I'll do it. There's no problem there. There's no problem because I could talk about wrestling all day. You know what I can talk about? That terrible clothesline that Moxley now just ate like a piece of cake, but somehow Shida Takama, whatever this guy's name is, just clotheslined the shit out of Jon Moxley. But it took about 3 attempts of shitty, uninspired clotheslines before he finally whipped out the power with the left-handed clothesline to the point that Moxley had to retreat to the corner, tag in Wheeler Yuta, who's now in here. We're watching AEW. This match is on right now. It's a good match. So far, it's actually a good match. It's had good pace, good timing. I like some of the mistakes that I'm seeing, too, in the shots looking out of place. I really appreciate all that. It's such a good match. That was actually a good German suplex by Wheeler Yuta right there. Wheeler Yuta about to get hit with the Death Valley driver. No, actually, no. He got hit with the FU, bro. This guy just used John Cena's move. Wheeler Yuta somehow able to kick out of that. Mick, he hurt him? No one? What do you mean? Who hurt who? Who? Somebody hurt you, Mick Thomason? Let me know and I'll send some wrestlers your way. Who hurt you, Mick Thomason? By the way, Moxley with a steel chair now. And apparently this match is over. Apparently now all of a sudden there are rules on Dynamite. Usually these guys can start choking each other, stabbing each other, all kinds of set each other on fire, hang each other in the middle of the ring. All that shit's good. But Moxley with a steel chair, the bell is ringing. It's ringing. Unbelievable. It's ringing. We need that sound effect right now. I need that sound. I need to get a bell. Where's my phone? We need that sound effect here now, live. And I can't wait for my producer because he's shitty. No idea what's going on anymore. Oh, I know where it is. I have a feeling we're about to go into commercial, though, ladies and gentlemen. And since we're going to go into commercial, I'm going to show you a little something. A little old school video. You probably haven't seen it in a long time because I don't really play it anymore. But right now, Jon Moxley, they're having his match pretty much announced right now. They're trying to hype it up. Let's see if we can find the graphic for that. Of course, we're talking about Forbidden Door coming up on Sunday. Where's Moxley's match? Here we go. They're trying to hype up this match right now for this Sunday. It looks like Naito is about to come down to the ring and start some shit with Jon Moxley. So that's why they probably ended that whole match so abruptly, because there's a lot of matches tonight, not enough TV time, and they want to get their shit in for this right now. Moxley's done waiting. He is out there. Saito's taking off all his gear. He's pretty much getting ready to wrestle a match. Both men now exchanging hard, closed fist shots to the face. It really looks like they're punching each other in the head right now. Moxley trying to rip the eyeballs. Saito's ripping eyeballs. This is actually getting really intense here, folks. This is actually getting really, really, really intense. Who knows? Jay, I told you, Uncle Howdy got Jay, 100%. We might never see Jay again because, honestly, I had a feeling that if we didn't see Jay again tonight, that the rumors were true, that Uncle Howdy got him, and it could be over. It could be over for him. Could be over for him. Open chat tonight, open conversation. You have something to say about Dynamite, you're more than welcome to chime in. Might have to actually put that link in the Busted Open group, but see, those Busted Open group guys, for some reason, they never joined. Apparently, they're too cool for Wrestling with Savage, and that's okay, because maybe Wrestling with Savage is too cool for them. Brian Danielson now comes to save his boy, Jon Moxley, because it looks like Moxley was getting his ass kicked. Wheeler Yuta was about to get abused. No, not at all, Moody. Moody, are you nuts? Are you nuts? No. No. Wrestling with Savage. It's called Wrestling with Savage. You get that, right? I don't think people get that. It's all good. I'd rather have their watch hours because they're still going to watch. They're all going to watch. By the end of the day, this is going to be one of the most watched wrestling podcasts of all time. Like I said, it might take 39 years. I might drop dead when I get there, but I'll get there. I don't know, Sean. Maybe if you can invest in some proper equipment so it doesn't sound like a dumpster truck is rolling through here. Actually, no, the sound wasn't that bad, but the camera was pretty bad. But I don't know what kind of phone you have. You're probably using a phone from 1995 or maybe 2012. I can't tell. I don't know. I don't know. That's right, Mick. That's right, Mick. We have hundreds and hundreds of episodes. I was by myself for many weeks and many nights. And I play video games by myself. I don't have a problem. Like right now, if I really get bored with a match, I can turn on a game and entertain all of you while still answering questions, covering professional wrestling, and talking about it all. I guess let's do it. Let's get into the AEW weekly review. I did not watch Rampage. I did not watch Collision. Not going to lie to you. Would love to have some comments from the fans if you guys actually watched the show about what you thought. But I did do the research, as I always do, like a professional that I am, to give you the results. Private Party defeated Metallic and Commander. Ray Phoenix defeated Turbo Floyd. Leo Rush defeated Action Andrade in this TNT Championship qualifying match. Everybody was barred from ringside. So big win for Leo Rush here. AR Fox lost to Shingo Takagi. And we also had Serena Deeb with another loss on TV versus Willow Nightingale. And I guess I'm okay with that because Willow's great, you know, and you're not going to have her losing matches. But did she really have to beat Serena Deeb? And then we move on to Collision, where there was a trios match. Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata were taking on, in my opinion, a very talented team if utilized properly, even if they're just enhancement guys that look good but never win. It could be a gimmick. It could be a thing. The premier athletes. Samoa Joe, obviously, you know, his team's not going to lose that match. He's got Hook, Shibata. Chris Jericho, Big Bill, the Redwood, the Learning Tree versus Private Party. And of course, they picked up the win. No surprise there. They've been pushing Private Party, but not with wins, just with TV time. Now, my favorite active guy in AEW after MJF right now and Will Ospreay, Okada. Okada's killing it, bro. He's so good. His new shirt looks sick, and he won his match against Ultimo Guerrero. The Patriarchy defeated Iron Savages and Jacked Jameson. Obviously, Christian Cage has a good team on his hands right now. Okay? Nick Wayne is the future. Kill Switch, Kill Shot, Luchasaurus, whatever you want to call him. That guy is potentially a future AEW world champion. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Tony Storm, Mariah May defeated Hirsch and Frost. Obviously, the combination of Storm and May is just too insane. Too insane. And before we continue with the results, we're back on AEW Live. And we still have a lot to look forward to. We're watching Dynamite live here on Wrestling with Savage this Sunday. You do have Forbidden Door. You still have plenty of time to order it on pay-per-view live on Triller TV. Here's a big boy shot of the action you have on deck tonight for AEW. But we're about to see right now Jay White versus Ray Phoenix. And this is probably going to be the match of the night. It's tough to argue that this is not going to be match of the night. Juice, by the way, these guys holding all the different gold. I mean, they're slowly, the Bang Bang Gang is slowly winning me over. But we need to see more. We need to see real tag team championships from AEW. We need to see one of them AEW World Champion. And then this Bang Bang Gang can be taken seriously. Until then, what are we doing? This guy says I have a Nokia. Fuck. This guy said Nokia. I haven't seen a Nokia phone in like 12 years. All right, that's not true. 9 years. All right, guys. Listen, if you're going to be here in the show, try to be interactive in the chat at least. If I ask you a question, give me an answer. We have Jay White. We have Ray Phoenix, two absolutely talented studs in the ring. I could put Ray Phoenix on that short list of about 15 guys that have potential for solo world championship aspirations because Ray Phoenix really is talented. I mean, he might be the best high flyer in the business right now. He's just so smooth. Every move is like butter. Men's tournament quarterfinal going down. Right now, we're going to find out who's going to move on in this tournament here, this legendary Owen Hart tournament that AEW now has made it, part of their claim to fame. Match getting ready to start up right now. Ray Phoenix taking on Jay White. Both men about to lock up. Oof. Got to do something about that. Uh-oh. Match is chilling right now. Right now, listen, there's no match even happening because I think the referee's about to kick everybody from the ring. Penta was causing shit. The Ass Boys were causing shit. Of course, Juice Robinson's right on top of the ring. He's screaming at the referee, screaming at everybody, causing. He just tried to throw his shirt at the referee, and he failed at that too. He tried again. He still missed. Everybody out. Come on. We're going to have a clean one-on-one here between Jay White and Ray Phoenix, which is great to see. And Ray Phoenix not wasting any time. Jay White obviously very upset that this is happening because he wants his guys out here. And Ray Phoenix wastes no time taking advantage of that moment, that opportunity. But quickly, Jay White turns it around, some stomps in the corner. Jay White quickly trying to take control of this matchup with the shoulder thrusts, driving them into the midsection of Ray Phoenix. This is going to be a very physical contest after you watch a chop like that take place to kick off the match. Jay White just woke up Ray Phoenix with that chop, I assure you. Followed by a very nice right hand connecting very well on the chin of Ray Phoenix. Both men counter the double Irish whip. Ray Phoenix comes back with a roundhouse kick. Jay White manages to escape his clutches. Ray Phoenix has him in a waist lock right now, eating another vicious chop from Jay White, now sending him off into the ropes. Phoenix taking a big shot to the back right there. And Jay White taking a head scissors, and he goes flying into the corner as both men take a pause. Ray Phoenix now. Nice shot. Nice shot by Ray Phoenix to the top rope springboard. Nice arm drag by Ray Phoenix. Comes in with a high drop kick. One of the better drop kicks you're going to see on TV and all of the companies on TV. Ray Phoenix, really good. Tremendous athlete. A lot of skill. Look at that tope suicida. Nobody does it like him. Nobody will ever do it like him. Not right now. Not active. Ray Phoenix, in my opinion, I'll say it again. probably the best high flyer in the business. And this match is going to continue on AEW Dynamite. But in the meantime, let's continue with the results from Collision. Tony Storm, Mariah May, like I said, defeated Hirsch and Frost. House of Black was in action. Brody King, Malachi Black were a man down this week, with Buddy Matthews, of course, being injured at the hands of Christian Cage and the Patriarchy. So they had a quick tag match against LSG and MSG, two local talents and real-life brothers. But, of course, that was an automatic squash match. Hachicero defeated Daddy Magic because obviously they want to build him up to get ready to take on MJF. And in the main event, this match I did see. I found myself very entertained, and I got to say this. Brian Cage is really good. Brian Cage is actually really great. Brian Cage is as good as almost anybody else that I've seen him in the ring with, and he's usually double their size. He is a special, gifted big man, and we need to actually start respecting this man's ability in the ring. His look, his presence, his moveset, it all screams and yells professional wrestling. He is awesome, and he needs to have his due in AEW. So I'll say it here live on my show. Tony Khan, get your shit together, and within the year, find a way to get that world title in the hands of Brian Cage. Congratulations to Will Ospreay for defeating him. Hell of a match. Hell of a match. But I promise you, Brian Cage showed in that match why he can hang with everybody. And if you don't agree with me, I don't care. Tough shit. I'm still going to say what I got to say. Brian Cage can hang with anyone. Anyone. Any wrestler in the business, Brian Cage can hang with, dude. He's that goddamn good. He's that goddamn talented. Now, here are some screenshots from the action that took place on Rampage, followed by Collision. And I'm asking nicely, if anyone in the chat has seen either of these two shows, please let me know what you thought. Which show was better? Elliot, I see you're watching on Facebook. Would appreciate and love you to be on YouTube. That's where I need the hours. That's where I need the people watching. I only got 2 people on YouTube right now. We got 2 on Facebook, 1 on Twitch, 5 on Twitter. And I know all you Twitter people don't give a shit about anything. They're too busy scrolling. See, not like me, though. I'm taking my time tonight with these pictures so you can really enjoy them. We're in a commercial anyway. We are watching AEW Dynamite. This match is on right now. It's in the picture-in-picture. Jay White still in full control with another vicious chop. Ray Phoenix comes back with his own chop, but Jay White eats it and then sends him down with another chop. More shots from Dynamite. / Rampagey, whatever you want to call it. I want to watch this match. I'm happy that Leo Rush won his match. I'm sure it was a tremendous match because Action Andretti is really good. Let's not forget that Action Andretti is the guy that beat Chris Jericho on his first match ever in the company. Very big deal. Leo Rush out here beating him fair and square, shaking hands, shaking Dante Martin's hands. Very clean, very nice to see. Willow Nightingale taking on Serena Deeb, picking up the win. Willow looking good, too. Willow's going to have a good time coming up soon, man. She's going to be world champion within the year, I think. Look at this. Samoa Joe in action with Hook. Hook, by the way, now that I don't have anybody to talk him down, Hook is one of the most talented guys in AEW. He's young, and he's got a lot of time. I was shocked when he told me he was only wrestling for 2 years when I talked to him. For 2 years to be able to come in and compete under these kind of conditions in front of more than like 500 people, let alone 5,000, sometimes 10. Impressive. Does he need work? Sure. who doesn't need work, but he has the potential. He has the look. If Hook puts on a little weight and gains a little more swagger, confidence in his approach as far as how he's going to talk, that kid's going to make a lot of money. He's a good-looking kid. He's got a good move set. All he's got to do is start connecting and not hold him back. I think that's the only thing he needs to do is stop holding back. If Hook can stop holding back, Hook will go on to have the best matches of his life, and he will build strong bonds with these wrestlers who are going to respect you. Believe it or not, you get respect. These guys want to go out there and put on a good show, man. They don't want this to look bad. They want it to look good. They want you to go home saying, damn, that was the best wrestling match I ever saw. That should be the goal of every wrestler anyway, if you're wrestling. Rey Fénix right now taking an absolute beating, which is why I can see him winning this match. Jay White has been in control the entire time, just pummeling Rey Fénix. Now with a brain buster, damn near killing the man, damn near ending his career. I'll keep you posted on that as we get back to the pictures. Hook is really good, guys. I love Hook. You should too. Okada, the Rainmaker, my God. One of the most popular guys in AEW right now. He's absolutely murdering it. He has a sick t-shirt. He has a sick quote. He comes in, says his one line, and it's good every time. His delivery has been perfect. He has a serious demeanor. He takes this business very serious. He respects this business very much. Just like me. I respect this business immensely. I respect the workers on this business. So I'm kind of happy that someone isn't here who's just constantly bashing all the workers, constantly and battering them day in, day out for mistakes and things that are all part of the process to become better, to get to greatness. You can't rush greatness. And I think certain people don't understand that. And that's not my problem. That's your problem. If you don't understand the number one rule about greatness, which is you can't rush it, man. But Jay White right now, it looks like Rey Fénix is dead. This match is over, man. Jay White convincingly, he didn't just beat Rey Fénix, he beat up Rey Fénix. No, I'm not taking anything away from Rey Fénix. Hell of a competitor, hell of a fighter, hell of an entertainer. But Jay White, just too much for him tonight as he advances. He's waiting for the winner of Jeff Jarrett versus the wild card. Pac is waiting for the winner of Bryan Danielson versus Takagi. Pac versus Bryan Danielson is like a match from the heavens, number one. This main event, depending who the sleeper is, a lot of people are saying that the sleeper is going to be someone that we haven't seen in a while, which is Hangman Adam Page. We'll have to wait and see if it's going to be Hangman Adam Page. Right now, someone else has some business they want to handle with the Bang Bang Gang. And Christian Cage, make no mistake about it, there may be 4 men in the ring and they're all holding titles. Christian Cage not slowing down at all, making his way to that ring with no fear and complete confidence because he knows he has an absolute monster by his side and a young killer in Nick Wayne. Christian Cage, no fear, steps right up to the ring steps and looks at Jay White right in the eyes. This is good right here. This is a good way. They're inviting Christian Cage in. The Bang Bang Gang, obviously they're nice guys, you know? Nice guys. So obviously they're going to be helping out, trying to help a legend like Christian Cage in the ring right now. Make sure everybody out there, you like, share, and subscribe. We're watching the AEW Weekly Update here on the greatest wrestling podcast of all time, Wrestling with Savage. And Jay White just beat up Rey Fénix, whooped his ass like it was nobody's business. And now the Young Bucks, we get a shot of them, and they are hitting the pumps, baby. I like it. Time to address some business. Last week, the Acclaimed, they were messing with the Young Bucks for a while now. So the Young Bucks played with them, took off their microphone. But last week, the Acclaimed and the Bucks put on a very good match and were able to come up with a win. And now the Acclaimed have a shot at the tag team titles. Will they win? Can they win? Or are the Young Bucks on a hot run right now? If you have the pencil, ladies and gentlemen, how long do you let the Young Bucks be tag team champions right now? One second, guys.
Say you are listening to Wrestling with Savage, the best podcast in the history of podcasts.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, brought to you live by the champ. Our last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. SmackDown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. Why?
Because they are the best tag team in the world today! Woo!
George,
Wrestling with
George,
Savage.
I think George just tried his resume for Tony Khan. I don't know for George. Huh?
With Savage!
But of course,
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, brought to you live by the champ. Our last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. SmackDown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. Why?
Wrestling with Savage begins
I'm trying to give these two W's.
all right, folks, here we are. Back to the shots of Collision. You can check out the action on your screen right here. Credit to AEW, AllEliteWrestling.com, for all the shots. If it wasn't for them, there's no way I would be able to show you these awesome pictures. So make sure you check out AllEliteWrestling.com for the latest news. And, of course, check out their store for all the merchandise that they have. They got some good stuff on there right now. With all the stars that they have, Will Ospreay, MJF back in the mix. And like I said, this guy right here, I can't say enough about Brian Cage, all right? Brian Cage really impressed me on the main event of Collision, showed the world, showed everybody why he can go in the ring with anybody and have a completely magical match. He is the walking embodiment of what a professional wrestler in a lot of people's minds should look like, should be like, should act like. If you talk about your traditional classic wrestler from 1980, my God, the guy is an absolute monster. Even 1990, 2000, 2020, look at John Cena, look at Batista. This guy's, he might be bigger than those guys. He moves better than those guys even. Brian Cage is like one of the most gifted big men you're ever going to see in your life. And if you don't believe me, these pictures should prove it to you. I mean, the athleticism from a guy his size, it shouldn't be possible. It really shouldn't be possible. Will Ospreay looked like he was even surprised that he could beat this guy. No offense to Will. Obviously, we know what he's about right now. He's all business trying to get his. But Brian Cage needs to get on his business about being and getting his. Now, this is that shirt I was telling you about earlier. You can't tell me this shirt isn't fire. I really want to go to the website right now. I want to go to shopaew.com and I want to buy this shirt. Shut up, bitches. It's great. Like, literally, this guy has a better catchphrase in one run than Shinsuke Nakamura's had in like 10 years. Am I wrong about that one? Shinsuke Nakamura obviously has a better theme song. Definitely not a better winning or loss record. Do you guys think Okada made the right move by coming straight to AEW? Because I think he did. I think he absolutely did. And right now, we're about to see the Acclaimed right now getting in the ring. Here's another shirt from Dustin Rhodes if you want to support the natural-born legend, who also will be back in WWE as a Hall of Famer one day. Don't forget, folks, Forbidden Door Live this Sunday, June 30th from Long Island, New York. Some tickets still available. Pick them up now. Here's a look at your path to All In Summer Series. We still have a lot of wrestling to go before the matches get set up for All In. And here's a look at all your current champions. Now, I want you to focus on the Young Bucks, because the Young Bucks, they want you to listen. Yeah, last week, the Acclaimed said they just fought the Young Cucks, and we beat them. The results surprised nobody. Actually, they surprised me. But I'll say this. Last week was a classic tag team match that had incredible storytelling and just a great setup from beginning to end. Anticipation. They built the anticipation to the results of that match so well. It was one of the better tag team matches that you're ever going to see on AEW Dynamite. So if you missed it, you should go back and check out that match between the Young Bucks and the Acclaim. That shit was really good. And I want to welcome somebody here. What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
There he is, the Savage Man himself.
Yes, sir. We're out here. We're watching AEW Dynamite. And right now, I thought you were going to come in here and give me a heart attack, but I see you're normal today.
Yeah. You know, we got the story. The story has been filmed. It has been edited. It has been all put together. We've just I've had some technical difficulties with my laptop and getting my laptop back, but we have the entire story to explain what's going on, called The Divide. So, because everybody's wondering, whoa, like, you know, Steve Gifke's back out of nowhere, what's going on? And we have it, you know, we have the best possible, I want to say, cinematic worthy stories coming your way soon. It's just all waiting on getting this laptop back so I could post it up for everybody to watch. So,
you mind if I show like a couple of clips of you so people can understand what and who you are?
Yeah, man, absolutely, go for it. Amazing. I gotta tell you, man, that rivalry with Spencer Slade, definitely like one of my favorites, man. Oh man, if we had more production, that thing could have went to the moon. Absolutely to the moon.
Yeah, I believe it. I was there for it. I witnessed it. I wouldn't mind seeing more of it. It was definitely absolutely wild. You guys both seem to just fit together, if that makes sense. Yeah. Yep. Just very natural chemistry. I mean, I don't know if you guys wrestled more than what I saw. I think only what I saw is what you guys did. Probably.
Yeah, three matches. That's all me and him have had together. But but
it looked like you guys had like 40 matches together, type of. You know.
It feels like it, but when a storyline is so good and two guys mix so well, it feels like that. It feels like the guys could just go for like 100 matches, you know. That was one thing though, is like there's certain people in the business where you're just on the same wavelength with, and it just comes so naturally. And that was like, you know, me and Spencer Slade, like instantaneously we were like, this is not only going to be easy, this is going to be a lot of fun, you know?
Absolutely. So. The power, because listen, first of all, I'm a Spencer Slade guy, so the fact that I'm even playing that clip in there, I'm probably going to get in trouble for showing that clip here, because it's just Spencer getting his ass kicked. But he kicked your butt one time, you kicked his butt, the story goes on. I think there's a lot more matches that you guys are both in. Obviously, I just want to show it just to show it, but obviously tremendous shape, both of you. For you personally, I see you, I see the pictures, I see the work, never-ending work. that you're putting in on every inch of your body, not just
Yeah.
all of it. What kind of plan is that? Like, what time do you wake up? When does your day start?
So, like I'm fortunate enough to where I've actually, it's kind of funny, like my profession and the job that I'm in, I originally based it around my wrestling career, because I was like, what I need is a job that's going to give me time to dedicate to myself during the week, to stay in ring shape, and to also give me weekends to travel and to do my shows. So when I became a personal trainer, the best way to do it is to get my clients in early in the morning before they go to work, and then evenings when they come home from work too. So I'll be up early, like I'll be up at 5:30 a.m., get breakfast going. I'll be at the gym sometimes by 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m. usually, to get my morning clients in. And then I'll have morning clients from 6 a.m. probably up until about 10 a.m., 10:30. And then I have my little gap during the day, and then that's when, like, around like lunchtime, like, I can train and I can work out. And it's become just such a lifestyle thing, like, like for the past 8 years, it's just like nonstop, like it's ingrained in me every day, to where it'll be like a solid hour workout, like with weights, resistance wise, and then probably like around like a half hour worth of cardio. And then, right after that, eat, shower, and then back to work in the evening for evening clients from 4 o'clock all the way up until like sometime like tonight, 9 o'clock at night. And it'll be like that every day from Monday to Friday. Friday I'll do a half day, and then if I have a show on Friday night, boom, off to the show. A show Saturday night, a show Sunday, because especially with Battlefield, they got those Sunday shows. And then sometimes now too, for WrestlePro has their Shotgun Thursday nights. So sometimes it'll be 4 days in a row, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then right back to work on Monday. So it's a very hectic schedule, but I enjoy it, and I feel like it gets you ready for the big time, because when you're up there, they're going to have a hectic schedule for you, and they want you to be prepared for that. They want you to embrace the grind and embrace being busy. So,
Yeah, you're not lying about that. They want you to be on the move, ready to go every single day. If there's money to be made, you need to be there, and you need to be there early for makeup and this, and all that. So you're not only 100% ready for it, but not only you look the part, you're ready, man. It's crazy how ready you are. And I believe we're seeing you on Impact from time to time, TNA.
Yeah. So I had a good match with Kushida. I want to say about like a week ago, a month ago on Explosion. I gotta say, love TNA. The whole, everybody that they have there is like a class act. That company has been around for so long. Slammiversary, their anniversary is coming up too. Fingers crossed, more things hopefully coming down the line with them. It's one of the best proving grounds, I think. I've said it probably for the past 5 to 6 years that I feel like TNA has the best in-ring product out of any company.
Okay. Overall, just because of the probably just so much options.
Yeah.
They have whatever you want: hardcore, high flying, women's wrestling, heavyweight championship, tag team wrestling. They have a great mix. They've always had a great roster. They're pretty much, selection of legends every single year, basically. Yeah, they're a great company, man. I think you're going to make it to the Performance Center is where I kind of want to see you land personally. That's where you need to go, because right now, with what I see in your future and what I know you're capable of, not just with wrestling, but just working and understanding the character and the business and how to work the gimmick and how to work the story and want to even tell a story. The fact that you already have all those down packed just makes you a threat, in my opinion, to everyone at the Performance Center. So I don't think it's a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Right. Absolutely. Thank you, man. I appreciate
Sean
it.
sees you and sees your work ethic. Like it's a no-brainer.
Right. Yeah, and that's kind of how I've tried to dictate everything. Like since starting wrestling, I just like any time, whether it came to the gym, whether it came to food, training, the schedule, I always just like the first question I ask is like what would they do up there? You know, like how do they do it like up there? And I base everything. I literally base my entire life around it. So and the main thing that I was always told is don't get ready, stay ready. So I'm always sure, like, you know, I always try to stay in the best physical looking shape, like, you know, ring shape too. And then especially like, you know, after the whole TNA thing and them seeing me as Gipke, as, you know, Jersey Muscle, you know, that's why I put Jersey Savior at the bottom. As them seeing Gipke again, I'm like, all right, well, like now they're going to be looking for more charisma. So like, that's why, you know, a couple shows, like you've been seeing a little bit more of Gipke just to kind of shake the rust off. And, it feels good because I got to say, like,
yourself a little more real, like just like
yeah, I'm able to show what I can do more because it's been honestly close to 3 years since I've wrestled as myself. Then the TNA match against Kushida was the first time in nearly 3 years that I was in the ring as me. So it was a hell of a way to kind of shake the rust off. But within 2 minutes, I was like, we're good. We're right back. We're right back into it, you know, and that goes to show just, you know, experience, reps, you know, and feeling yourself out. And then, you know, the more shows that I've actually been able to do as Gipke now, I've been increasing the move set, you know, playing around with different ideas. And like now I'm starting to, for the longest time in wrestling, everybody says you got to throw shit at the wall and see what sticks, you know, and then a lot of times not a lot of stuff is going to stick. Recently, I feel like I've been getting lucky and almost everything I've been throwing has been sticking, which feels great.
Yeah, I see it in the work, man. It must be fun to just get back to your roots of, you know, because when you first started training, you're wrestling as yourself. It's like, okay, I'm going to get to go back to that. But now with all that experience, all that knowledge coming with me, and you kind of get to reinvent yourself a little bit.
Yep.
You know, it's kind of beautiful to think about, actually. I'm kind of jealous that you're at this point in your life right now where you're literally right at like, you're right there. You're right there where it's about to take off, launching pad, and all your dreams, I believe, are going to come true. Just manifest it. Make sure you write that shit down 3 times a day. And you know what actually helps, believe it or not? Get 3 different kinds of paper. And on each paper, write down exactly what you want and stick them in your boots.
And stick them in the boots. I've heard that from a couple guys, like not with the paper, but like
that's old school shit.
Yeah, some of the guys write it on the lips of their boot. And then when they do it, they write down the date of when they actually accomplish it. Like I've seen a couple guys with the boots where it's just like, you know, like it's like first televised match, you know, and like they'll put it in there, and then once they finally do it, like they'll write it down. I actually, you know, it's kind of funny, since I did come back as Gipke, it's such a weird, you know, everybody has like their little things like they carry around for good luck, and whatnot. It's just like so weird, like this happened. I was at this t-shirt shop on the boardwalk like a couple months ago, and they had like funny socks and everything like that, and like in the funny sock section they had old school like WWE classic matches, and like they had like these 2 socks, and like the one pair of socks was WrestleMania 18, where one sock is The Rock and the other sock is Hulk Hogan. And almost every single one of my Gipke matches, I make sure I'm like wearing those socks. And I got to be honest, like I personally, I feel like I haven't had a bad match since I started wearing those socks.
That's so. Yeah, everybody's got to have their thing, man. Like you got to have little routines, little traditions. All that goes a long way, especially when you're on the road and you're going to be on airplane after airplane after airplane. You got to have something to make you feel safe and confident and happy. You know what I mean? You got to stay in that happy place, even if you don't have anything else going on to be happy about. You got to pretend you're fucking happy just to get through the shift or the day or the whatever.
Yep, 100%.
You know that.
Yeah,
especially as a personal trainer, I'm sure you have a moment where you're like, I'm tired.
Yeah, but like you can't let them know you're tired.
That's
you know,
right.
Put the smile on, shut up, and keep going. You know,
that's right. Just nod your chin and be happy about it.
It's literally life, man. It's just like that's the whole thing. It's easy to work out when you're motivated. You know, it's easy to have a great day when you're motivated to have a great day. you know, but there's going to be a lot more days where you're not motivated, you feel like shit, you feel lazy. Those are the days where it counts. Those are the days where it matters. That's when you have to like suck it up and like still go through it and pretend you're motivated. And like
Absolutely. So if I have to ask you a quick question, if you were going to go after one of these titles, which one would you want to go after right now if you had the choice?
Oh, I mean, I'm telling you, it's always got to be the world. It's always got to be the world championship. You know,
you're going right after Swerve Strickland.
Yep, right after.
With all your training and your wrestling, do you watch the product?
I do. I mean, I stay in tune with the product. It just sucks because like I said, like the long nights, like sometimes I'll get out of work at like 9 o'clock and like, you know, like they'll already be an hour in, but like, you know, the good thing about like you doing your show and social media and people kind of like updating everything about social media. So like I'll be scrolling and I'll catch the highlights and, you know, I'll make sure like I know what's going on and when there's like a really good match that happens, I'll be sure like I go back and like watch the replay and check out like the full match, you know?
Do you have like what got you into wrestling though, as far as like how old were you when you first started watching?
I mean, I would say I was about first, second grade, you know? So
okay,
I really caught like the end of, I would say the end of the Attitude Era, but the very beginning of the Ruthless Aggression Era. And that's, I mean, shit, man, that it just sold me right away. Like when everybody asked me, you know, like, and I love debating it too, because, you know, at the end of the day, everybody's passionate about it. But for me, even now, like going back when I'm like tape studying and I'm watching matches, I love watching so much stuff from that era, from the Ruthless Aggression Era, because to me, the in-ring was so crisp. Everything was very aggressive. And they didn't have to be overly flashy because like at that time the roster was so stacked, you know, and like also understand like, yes, it was stacked in the Attitude Era, but the athleticism and the stories, like sometimes I feel like maybe not the stories, but definitely the athleticism was just at another peak during Ruthless Aggression because everybody was really trying to prove a point and move up the ladder at that point.
And the timing of that made everything seem like a dream match. So the matches kind of sold themselves.
Oh, 100%. You had a great brand split where both brands felt so even. I'll always say like the big selling point for me, like everybody that knows me, is Survivor Series 2002. I personally, my opinion, I say Survivor Series 2002 is the greatest pay-per-view of all time. I still don't think anything has beaten it. I won't debate it against WrestleMania 17 because I feel like that was just like the big boom that had to happen coming out of the Monday Night Wars. Yeah. But like when you look at all in all, like just going like from start to finish of stories, great diversity in the show. You know, you have your 6-man match, the women's match delivered. You have a huge like one-on-one like title match. You have the first ever Elimination Chamber. You have a phenomenal stacked like 3-way tag team match. You have like the Cruiserweight title match too. That show was so stacked, sold me on a whole different level. Madison Square Garden, like, I mean, come on, you know, that whole show. I'll debate with you right now. If you have one of your favorite pay-per-views of all time, I'll put Survivor Series 2002 right up there with it.
My favorite pay-per-view of all time, probably one of the two, either WrestleMania 13 or WrestleMania 18 with Rock and Hogan.
Or with Rock and Hogan.
It was either Austin or Brett for me, or Rock and Hogan, because Rock and Hogan was something else. Just the way the crowd was, you're never going to see anything like that ever again. Probably
not. True. I just watched the A&E Rivals on it. They do a really good job of covering everything.
Oh yeah, and
that was phenomenal. And then the A&E Bio with Rob Van Dam. That was another good one. That was my first ever favorite wrestlers. You know.
Okay. Yeah, he's in my top 5 all time.
My first 3. Which was who?
Rob Van Dam's in my top 5 all time, 100%.
Oh yeah. I would say like the first 3 that got me into it. It was Ultimo Dragon, number 1. Rob Van Dam, and then Rey Mysterio. Cause, you know, he just like, and it was like when, you know, he first popped onto WWE, you know, and like they didn't have anybody like him, you know. And then, man, I mean, I'll tell you right now with WWE, like back then, I really feel like they dropped the ball on Ultimo Dragon. But he was already such a name, and he was set in stone by then that he really didn't need it, you know.
We could talk like that about probably 150 different people, though. There's so many guys they dropped the ball with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of guys that should have been world champion throughout the years. You know, we can go back in time and say Roddy Piper should have been one. You know, Rick Rude, Ted DiBiase, guys like this should have all been world champions. And during the Attitude Era, I could name a ton of guys who all.
Yeah.
Gangrel should have been a world champion. The Brood should have been like a big freaking deal.
Yeah.
And the fact that they didn't utilize that like to the max.
It's like stuff was changing so fast back then. It's like you literally had 2 weeks to get something over. And if it didn't get over, you know, just on to the next. You know, TV time was such gold back then that like now they you know, there's tons of great time. There's tons of companies, which I love. It's the more work, the better, you know?
No, well, now with social media, the work never ends, actually. They need people for content 24/7 to give people content in every different country and world. And when Netflix happens, I don't think people even fathom yet how big of a fucking deal this Netflix deal is, because now they're not limited or restricted to countries or this or that. No. Netflix is the whole fucking world, bro. The whole world. If you wrestle for the WWE, you're wrestling in front of the whole fucking world on another level now. People are going to be making more money than they ever have in their entire life because of this deal. And not to mention, we're going back to maybe even worse than the Attitude Era. This is about, it could start being the Triple X era for all we know.
Yeah, well, dude, they said uncensored, unrestricted, so it's unrated. You know, like Attitude Era was what, TV 14? You know?
Exactly.
And
this could be wild.
Yeah, like it's just like such a great time. It's because like you always, you know, we were in that era to where we're like, oh man, are we ever gonna see that again? And then we're like, maybe, but like way down the line in the future. And then like to know that like we're on the cups of it like right now. It's just great. And then, you know, AEW providing, you know, great competition too, and just like, you know, providing like really stellar matches, you know, it's just, you know, I just love I just want everybody to do well, you know.
Listen, I feel like AEW is a place that you can just go make good money and have fun and have good matches with a lot of people. That's to me when I look at AEW. If you want to be considered a legendary wrestler in this business, you have to go to the WWE. Yeah, it's just the way it is.
It's a move. It's a move definitely to make. You know,
because
it's definitely
AEW. These guys wrestle once, twice, some of them 3 times a week, but that's very rare. That usually never happens. WWE, you might be wrestling 6 times a week. You know, because the house shows are never ending.
Yeah,
all around the world.
Yeah, the grind and the schedule is definitely a lot more. I mean,
especially if you become famous, bro. They're gonna have you on TV shows, interviews, you know, comic relief, commercials, out the ass. Do this, do that. Oh, by the way, we need you ready for a match in 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's a lot, bro.
Yeah, I know. I'm just, you know what?
But you're ready for it. You've been training your whole life for this goddamn moment.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, man. You know, that's why it's this August will be 15 years.
Listen, I love AEW. I love what they do. Who's your favorite people to even watch in AEW? For me, it's guys like MJF, Will Ospreay. I love what Prince Nana does. I wish Swerve Strickland would talk less and let Nana do more talking for him. That's one. I don't know if you agree with that, but I feel like Swerve would have a much better run if he was a little more mysterious.
I think we're in an era where managers are so underutilized and need to be brought back, because I feel like there's so many wrestlers out there that, like, yes, maybe they lack the promo skills and maybe they lack the charisma, but there's managers out there that have that, and they're there to be that mouthpiece. And I mean, if you look back in the day, like with you know, Bobby Heenan and Jimmy Hart, you know, there were all Paul Bear. Yeah, there were all these guys there for that reason. Like, that was and adding that mystique and that silence to the character, it helped it get over so much more. And I think I think slowly they are starting to kind of bring managers back. You know, you can see like certain people are being thrust in that roles, but it's really a lost art form that like what I'm hoping is it's just like a spoke on the wheel. The wheel's turning, and the wheel was turning for a while, and there weren't that many notable managers that were getting that much airtime, you know, and in front of the camera. Now, hopefully, we're starting to kind of come back to that, you know. So, fingers crossed, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's where my goal is. You want to be the world champion of the world, and I want to be the manager of the world champion of the world. That's my goal, is to get to the WWE one day and bust my ass for as many years as they need me to before they say, you know what? Hey, we think you know what you're doing. Why don't you help us produce a little bit? That's all I want.
Yeah, man. And it opens doors, you know, and it helps. It just helps everybody. You know, the biggest thing is just like, you know, everybody needs to get over. Everybody needs to make money. It's a business. That's what you got to realize. And, you know, like I said, you know that art form better than anybody. You know, and like I've seen, you know, you've done the managing with Slade and a couple of the other guys, and I think it helps add another extra layer, you know, and it helps everybody in there like look good, you know. But you gotta let the managers manage, you know. If they're not going to be talking, you know, enough for the wrestler, it just doesn't make as much sense, you know.
Nah, I'm gonna go wild. You're gonna be at the Battlefield on the 28th, yeah?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, we need to go wild that day, and I want to really shoot content that like really sets everybody else apart. Like look how these guys do this shit. Look how we build up our matches. Look how we present ourselves early. The biggest problem I have at the gym usually when I arrive is only like maybe 2 wrestlers are in their gear. That's usually always the problem.
Right. Yeah. Oh, and for me, you know, depending on which guy you get, like for one guy it takes forever to get ready, you know, and I never want to do it too early, you know, but like, you know, if you get Gipke, you know, Gipke's ready like that, you know, like he could go whenever. So
that's why one day, hopefully in the WWE, you know, I want to do whatever I have to do to earn the right to one day be in a position where I just make a phone call and there's 10 superstars waiting in a fucking line ready to make fucking content. Now, make content, because that's what it's about. That's what this game is. That's what a lot of these kids that we see out there, they go, they wrestle their ass off. They learn all the moves. Who the fuck are you?
I know.
What's your name?
You got to tell the story, you know?
Where's your logo? To tell the story. Where's your t-shirt? Do you have Instagram? Have you ever tweeted? Nothing. They don't get it, I guess, or they don't want to put in the work. And I'm sure you see it amongst your travels. You probably see guys so goddamn talented, but they're just lazy when it comes to anything outside of that match.
Yeah, it's if there's one thing like you will find in wrestling, and you'll find this in any professional sport, any type of business or anything like that, it's the different levels. And like, you know, like just like to this game and to every other game, like there's levels to this, and the gaps between those levels are very, very large gaps, you know.
Oh yeah.
And you could tell when you go to some of these shows, and like that's why, you know, the biggest thing to do is for everybody, you know, like show respect, you know, give everybody the handshake, and then, you know, but like it doesn't take very long to understand which level each person is kind of at if you know what to look for, you know.
Yeah, the biggest thing I've learned in the professional wrestling business in the last 2 years is there's not many very professionals in the professional wrestling business. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'll leave it at that because I don't like to drop names, and you never see me go on Facebook and bitch about someone owing me this or that. I don't care. I don't waste my time because all that shit's in the past. I got to keep moving forward because that's the only way you get ahead. You can't let anything drop you. And by the way, this is supposed to be an AEW weekly update show. Just to give everybody a quick update. Toni Storm, Mariah May, and Mina won their match. And then Toni Storm dodged a bottle across the forehead when Mina was coming swinging, and Mariah May unfortunately got cracked in the head. I'm sorry for her. MJF came out earlier. He got interrupted by Daniel Garcia, and then he got interrupted by Will Ospreay. Next week, Daniel Garcia, Will Ospreay on Dynamite. We're going to hear from Mercedes Moné. Personally, I don't care. I think she is the most overpaid wrestler in the world, and I'll say it live right now. Bailey is better than her. I don't know if you agree with that, buddy. Probably not. He's like, no, I'm not touching that one.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'll keep it at that.
Okay, we'll keep it short. Kyle O'Reilly, one of my favorite workers. Zack Sabre Jr., another one of my favorite workers. Kyle O'Reilly was at a point like 2 years ago where he was putting on match of the week, like week after week after week after week. So I hope we get to see him get back to that. We still have this match to look forward to. Haven't seen it just yet. The BCC defeated the LIJ. Actually, no, it turned into a brawl because Moxley can't not use a steel chair. And by the way, I don't know if you watch a lot of AEW, but if you do, you probably noticed they don't really kind of follow rules. So it's just shocking to me that a steel chair caused the whole match to be just thrown out. Pretty stupid. Later tonight, Swerve and Will Ospreay are going to take on the Gates of Agony. That, to me, doesn't make sense either because I never want to see two guys that are supposed to beat each other up on the same team. I want to see them beat each other up, not help each other. We heard from Daniel Garcia. Jay White defeated Rey Fenix. Not only defeated him, but beat him up. And this is just a moment to recognize who I think is the future women's champion in AEW, and that's Mariah May. This girl is a star. And I think we're going to see Mandy Rose at All In. You familiar with Mandy Rose? You ever met her? Mandy Sachs.
Well, she's actually supposed to be on a show with me in July down in Point Pleasant, New Jersey.
The war on the shore?
The War on the Shore. Fight Factory.
What's his face? Who's the guy running that? Chernoff. This Josh Chernoff guy thinks he's better than me, thinks he's a better manager than me, too. I've been trying to hit him up because we need to do some business on the East Coast. I think the War on the Shore should have a little Slade. I've been trying to.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%, man. That card is stacked.
It's already stacked. It is a stacked card. You got Cardona on there, right? Who are you fighting?
I'm going one-on-one with Trax. It's a good old Jersey versus Philly match.
So this is Jersey Savior we're going to see on July 17th, 27th?
July 16th. It's on a Tuesday. It's at Martel's Tiki Bar, Fight Factory, War on the Shore. You'll have Mandy Rhodes there. You'll have, in the main event, it'll be Dan Moff versus Casey Navarro for the Premier Championship, which is obviously a banger of a match. I believe another match, we have Santana going up against Joey Janela. Another match that we have, there's an incredible, I want to say it's a 6-man scramble match that's got TJ Crawford in it. It's got Savage Victor Benjamin is in it. LSG is in it. I mean, there's talent all over this card. I believe we have another singles match, Justin Carino versus GKM. I mean, I'm telling you, man, like this
for
is
a Tuesday. That might be the craziest fucking thing I've ever heard for a Tuesday.
Oh yeah, crazy as fuck, man, dude. I mean, we're gonna be able to.
It's gonna be packed because it's the summer, Jersey Shore. It's gonna be
the summer. It's Martel's Tiki Bar. It's right on the beach. Literally, you get thrown out of the ring, you are going to be in the sand. I mean, this one is the guys at Fight Factory, like, you know, Dave Sturcio, Chris Payne, Tommy D. Like, I mean, these guys are passionate guys. They do it right. They are all about quality. This is going to be a huge show. It's their first one. I highly doubt it's going to be their last. I think it's going to be the start of something really special. It's going to be crazy, you know, especially for a Tuesday night in the summer in July. I mean, shit's going to hit the fan. It's going to be.
I might have to just come down there and volunteer some services.
Now I'm telling you, hey, and you got Martel's Tiki Bar right there. You know, you can volunteer down in some shots.
Yeah, that's true. But then you get a different version of Savage that you may not want to see. So,
well, you go night swimming right in the ocean.
Stay away from the shots. I end up in jail at the end of the night. We don't want that.
Hey, man, it's the Jersey Shore. You're just doing what you're supposed to do.
I'm going to call up DDP if I get arrested. He's got some friends in Jersey Shore, I heard.
There you go. Yeah, well, it's at DDP's hometown, Point Pleasant.
Yeah. DDP. You familiar with DDP? You ever met him?
Yeah, I haven't met him. I know he's seen my stuff. I know he's, from what I've heard, he's a Dark STG fan. So, you know, I've heard that he said great things about me, and I can, nothing but, be gracious towards that,
Yeah,
And
dude, he's big time, man. That's somebody that you definitely want that stamp of approval. That's awesome that you got that already. We just got to get Sean to see some of your stuff. I'm working on that connection, by the way. I don't know if you know this, but I manage Marty Jannetty, and I produce his podcast every Thursday, hypothetically, the best podcast of all time. And if I can get him to show up on time. But besides that, working on that relationship between him and Sean, and we'll see where that gets me.
Nice, man. I appreciate it.
But if I get in that room, I will show him that video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Let me know. I said, I'm just waiting on. I got some good stuff, man, cooked up. I just got to get it posted. Just technology is great until it doesn't work when you need it to work.
Listen, worst case, my only advice to you, because I don't even think you need much, but the only advice I would give to you is the same I would give to any professional wrestler, and that's when you see the smallest of opportunities, you fucking smash that fucking door open. Even if it's always easy to ask, for forgiveness than to ask for permission.
Right.
So if you see that little shot there, something that you could say that maybe that little gut tells you, you know what? Oh, that sounds good. I should say that. Fucking say it. Don't be afraid of anything, especially now with the way the world's going. If The Rock can curse, so can you.
Amen to that, man. 100%. 100%, Savage. I'm going to get out of here. I got another early day tomorrow, buddy.
Yes, sir. Keep it up, and thank you so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate you.
Good
luck at the war on the shore, and I'm sure I'll see you at the battlefield.
Absolutely. I'll catch you soon, buddy.
Take care, brother. All right. Thank you so much to Dark STG, the Jersey Savior, for joining me and having some words. You got to hear some perspective from a real professional wrestler who's killing it right now on the independents. We are watching Dynamite. We talked a little bit about the results from the night. This is Wrestling with Savage. I noticed Jay joined for like a split second, and then he left. He didn't give me the opportunity to bring him in. So Jay was here. So apparently Uncle Howdy did not get Jay. He's obviously alive. I don't know if he's going to come back. Maybe Uncle Howdy did take him because I only saw him for a split second. I don't know. What's happening? What the hell is going on? All right, some weird shit's going on. I think Jay's trying to hack the show. I think Uncle Howdy has possessed Jay. He's trying to hack the show. I'm not sure exactly what's happening, but nonetheless, let's get back to Dynamite tonight. We saw this match earlier tonight. Toni Storm, Mariah May, and Mina all victorious over there, but then Mina did not like that. Mariah May was hugging up on Toni Storm. She tried to crack her in the head with the bottle, and instead Toni Storm dodged out of the way, and poor Maria May got cracked in the head with the bottle. MJF came out trying to talk, got interrupted by Daniel Garcia, who then got interrupted by Will Ospreay, and we'll get back into that in just a moment. We're supposed to hear from Mercedes Monet. I'm sure that's coming up any second. But right now we're watching Kyle O'Reilly versus Zack Sabre Jr., and this match is taking place with Undisputed Kingdom watching, and they're not ringside. They're actually in the crowd. The BCC and LIJ. That match ended in a no contest because Moxley decided to use a steel chair. Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay taking on the Gates of Agony later tonight in the main event. And we did hear from Daniel Garcia, basically talking really nicely about MJF. And then he was rudely interrupted by Will Ospreay, who came on and said, I like what you've been doing. I know you want a shot at this. So when do you want the shot? You want to do it tonight and make these people feel? Daniel Garcia says, next week, Dynamite. Me and you for all the gold. So that's what we're going to see next week on Dynamite. And also, Jay White, earlier tonight, not only defeated Rey Fenix, but beat the hell out of Rey Fenix. I hope Mariah May is okay. She got hit in the head with that bottle. I hope she's okay. Still got that main event to come. And right now, like I said, we're watching Kyle O'Reilly versus Zack Sabre Jr. It's going down in the middle of the ring. Kyle O'Reilly trying to take control with that headlock. And my God, was who a head shrinker? Yes, he was. And we can take another moment to acknowledge this man right here, Sika Anoa'i, 1945 to 2024, rest in peace, and condolences and prayers out to the entire Anoa'i family. This guy was awesome, member of the Wild Samoans, legendary tag team, automatic Hall of Famers, and inspiration to generations to come for tag team wrestling, and how to be a human being, because he was loved by his entire family, and that is a big family. A lot of people to love. Real quick, we'll talk about Money in the Bank. It's coming up live July 6th, 7 Eastern. And we still have a lot of people to see who's going to be in the match. But in my opinion, Chelsea Green is taking that match. Chad Gable, I think 100% is going to win the Money in the Bank male match. And then Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker. This one has me confused because a lot of people are pointing towards Sami Zayn retaining. But I just ask myself, why and how? Is it because Ludwig and Sheamus and all these guys are going to come on and screw him? How is Braun Breaker not going to win this title? If this is a clean match, how do you explain Sami Zayn defeating Braun Breaker? I just don't think it's possible. Seth Rollins, now that the Judgment Day have the tag team gold, I really don't see this ending well for Seth Rollins. I see the Judgment Day somehow, some way, finding a way to keep the gold around the waist of Damian Priest. You are watching AEW, but yesterday I did the WWE Weekly Update with my special guest, Evil Kip. We had a really good time. If you missed the show, go back and check it out. Right now, you're watching the AEW Weekly Update. We're talking about Forbidden Door. We had Dark STG in here, Jersey Savior. Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, episode 4 of the Savage Storm Wrestling Super Show. Maybe with a dash of Jay. I don't know. Probably not. Uncle Hottie ripped that ass apart. I hope you're okay, Jay. It's going to be okay. I think it's going to be okay. All right, let's see. We got a lot of people in the chat right now, so let's take a moment to actually read some chats. We're here. Fresh Take Sean would love a glass of wine. Sean said, And then Fresh Take said, they're considering cutting Raw to 2 hours. Yes, I heard that, and that's a great idea, Fresh Take. They should cut Raw to 2 hours. No reason to have it be any longer, especially with the edgy content. We don't need 3 hours of edgy content, 2 hours. Honestly, you ever go to the movie theater and the movie is like 2 hours, perfect timing? You're like, oh, this was a great movie. Usually when it's a 3-hour movie, you're looking at your phone and you're like, oh, my God, when does this movie end? When does it end? This is why Cody is a defending champion. He is a defending champion. Sean, we're talking about Dynamite. We're getting through it right now. I want to know who you were saying was a head stricker, and I believe Mandy Rose was on a Drowning Pool album cover. Pretty cool. Good to know. Mick Thomason's still here. Are you not playing my video tonight? Mick, this show is about AEW. It's not named AEW. Excuse me. It's not named Mick Thomason Weekly Update. It is named the AEW Weekly Update. But because of how selfish you are, I'm going to play your video.
Wrestling with Savage. Go Savage. Wrestling with Savage.
That is Mick Thomason, one of my OG members. We all love him, but sometimes he wants me to play his video, and I'm going to oblige him. Well, I'm all right. NHL draft, great. More hockey. All right. The Rangers ain't winning anytime soon, so what am I what do I want to do with that? What do I want to do with that? Tomorrow night, Savage Storm. We might have a party with my episode. I don't know. Stay tuned. Find out. Who cares? I don't care. I don't care. You know why? Because everything I do with that man is last minute now. It's last minute Marty Jannetty. That's his new nickname. Last minute Marty Jannetty. So maybe there'll be a podcast tomorrow. If he could stop partying for 2 minutes. You can go to wrestlingwithsavage.com, pick up merch. I have t-shirts, cooking aprons, baby gear, backpacks, duffel bags, coffee mugs, all kinds of stuff. Go to thewrestlinguniverse.com and check them out if you want to see all their different autograph signings that they have for the remainder of the year, like the one they just had with Sabu, where I got to hang out with my good friend Sabu. Go to thewrestlinguniverse.com and check out all the upcoming events, which, by the way, you can buy tickets for most of them. Drew Gulak is a new one that was just added. Scott Norton. I mean, so many people. Legend after 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 legend, 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 legendary, 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 legend, legend, legendary. First winner of the Royal Rumble, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. How can you not be hyped about that? I want to know what you guys think about this in the comments. Paul Triple H Levesque, he wants to take the 4 biggest events of the year, which are the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series, and make them all 2-day-long live premium events. I think that's good shit. I'm super excited about it. Actually, I tell you what, I'm super excited about tomorrow's show because I know my boy Storm is going to come on here and he's going to have a lot to say about AEW, about WWE, about TNA. Will we see Jay tomorrow night? Will Uncle Howdy release him? I don't know, but we're going to have to stick around to find out. We are watching AEW Dynamite, and right now we have Kyle O'Reilly taking on Zack Sabre Jr. And we'll keep you posted on the results for this match as we go on. But quickly, I think it's that time of the show. Breaking news, Tony Khan still having great talks with Warner Brothers Discovery about AEW's future, so there's still a chance for that deal to happen. Stephanie Vaquer's in-ring debut announced for Collision this weekend, so you get to get a peek at her before her match with Mercedes Moné. Ricky Starks seemingly mocks alleged Canada arrest rumors. I didn't even hear about that. If anybody has some context to that, let me know what happened. Did Ricky Starks actually get arrested? Jim Ross doesn't rule out WWE working with AEW. Well, I don't think that's ever going to happen, but if it does, maybe that will start a whole new relationship between them that maybe they can take advantage of how popular wrestling is and give us fans more dream matches. Let's see. And my prayers and thoughts are with Jim Ross, who's back in the ER. Difficulty breathing right now. So, Jim Ross, I hope you feel better and get better soon, brother. Get back home. Jinder Mahal tagging with AEW star for his AAA debut. He was tag teaming with Santam Singh, who's no longer with AEW. An update on this match right here. Kyle O'Reilly just tapped out to Zack Sabre Jr., which is kind of fucking crazy. Kyle O'Reilly tapping out here. Britt Baker spotted in a karate station with experts. That's sick. Britt Baker's going to come back to AEW better than ever, stronger than ever, and she's going to know some Taekwondo. The Huber family to donate all proceedings from Brody Lee's inspired Reebok shoes. That's awesome to hear. Thunder Rosa, not happy about AEW Owen Hart Cup tournament snub. And why would she be? She left this company as the champion. She came back and still never got her title shot. So obviously Thunder Rosa should be fucking pissed off. I would be pissed off too. Darby Allin cashing in on his broken foot injury with new merchandise. No surprise there. He's a nutcase. But we are talking about AEW. Kyle O'Reilly just tapped out to Zack Sabre Jr. And now Kyle O'Reilly, he's not even in the ring anymore. Zack Sabre's still in there with Orange Cassidy, who he's supposed to be taking on at Forbidden Door live this Sunday on pay-per-view. If you watched SmackDown this past week, you'll know that there was a lot of crazy shit. CM Punk, Paul Heyman being back on TV together. Solo Sikoa didn't like any of this. Tried to jump. Cody comes out, makes the save with a baseball bat. Chelsea Green looking better than ever. And she qualifies for her Money in the Bank match by pinning in a match with Bianca Belair in it. Like, good God. Girl is a legend. She didn't pin Bianca, but she got the pin. She took advantage of the KOD and then the 1, 2, 3. And Chelsea Green is your new qualifying lady for Women's Money in the Bank. And I think she's going to win it this year. Drew McIntyre made an absolute statement by dumping CM Punk right on his head. Unconscious, bruised, battered, bleeding, and he ended up going home in a hospital. Carmelo Hayes shocked the world when he defeated Randy Orton and Tama Tonga to qualify for his Money in the Bank match. Match was good, but maybe a little too short. Santos Escobar brawled with LA Knight, United States champion Logan Paul, ambush Knight. So poor Santos over here, he's trying to get his moment in the sun, but it ain't going to happen because Logan Paul and LA Knight, they're going to outshine you every time. And now that LA Knight has a match with Logan Paul, I really feel that LA Knight is going to be your next United States champion. He will be the one to beat Logan Paul. Andrade defeated Kevin Owens and Grayson Waller to qualify for his matchup here. And that's when all hell broke loose and they started to beat the hell out of Kevin Owens. Randy Orton came out for the save. Grayson Waller came out. He had his matchup over there. He was trying to get the job done. Didn't happen. Undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes defeated Solo Sikoa via disqualification. And this was absolutely wild. Little preview of the match, but it didn't last long because the bloodline came out for blood on Cody Rhodes. And it didn't work. The three big stars in the ring, KO, Cody, Randy, they ended up getting the advantage, and they were about to have their day with Solo Sikoa. But Solo would have the last laugh as his newest member of the bloodline, Jacob Batu, the Samoan werewolf, would emerge to beat the shit out of Cody Rhodes, beat the shit out of Kevin Owens, beat the shit out of Randy Orton, and go on to have maybe the greatest debut in modern day wrestling history and establish himself as a member of the new bloodline. Last week's WWE was so phenomenal. There's no way I'm not saying that SmackDown, Raw, both tied for best show of the week because of the way they both ended. Incredible shows from start to finish. Can't wait to see this week's SmackDown. Raw was good, but it got better. I mean, I wish the Braun Breaker match would have lasted longer. I would have liked to see a real winner. Sheamus interfered. Lyra Valkyria, she qualified for her Money in the Bank match. Congratulations to her. At the demise of Shayna Baszler, of course. Oh, God, not this guy. Not this guy. Zelina Vega made it clear that she wanted Liv's world title. They're going to exchange hands, and this would lead to Rey Mysterio coming out and getting involved. And next week, Dom has a match against his dad. Chad Gable steals the show by winning this match here, but he had a little help. He had a little help from the Judgment Day, had a little help from the Wyatts. After this, it would get a little creepy, and they would give Michael Cole a VHS tape that he would play later in the show. Don Alba Fire would win their match, but Dakota Kai and Damage Control would come out to make a statement. Damian Priest, Seth Rollins had a war of words. Very excited about that matchup. If Damian Priest loses this match, he must leave the Judgment Day. If Seth Rollins loses, he can never challenge for the title ever again. Damian Priest is a stud right now. Looks good. Gunther comes out here, says he can't wait to see this match because he's getting the winner soon. So either way, I think no matter what happens, Gunther ends up with this title sooner than later. But my God, Bo Dallas opened up to Uncle Howdy about his late brother, Bray Wyatt. And let me tell you something. This right here was maybe the best segment of the night. One of the best segments of all time. Love how they straight got to the point and introduced us to real Bo Dallas. Like, this is who we're going to be seeing wrestle. And that Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy is a character. Uncle Howdy is Bray Wyatt. Uncle Howdy is evil. Uncle Howdy is possession. Bo Dallas is a prisoner to Uncle Howdy. But Bo Dallas is still a real man named Bo Dallas who's going to wrestle. He's going to have a lot of help. He's going to have a lot of help. My God, that shit was so good, so real. But back to AEW. All right, Kyle O'Reilly, like I said, tapped out to Zack Sabre Jr., but right now we're getting ready to see the main event. Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay taking on the Gates of Agony in a matchup that you shouldn't even give a shit about because this match is stupid. This match is beyond stupid. I do not want to see two guys that are supposed to be fighting each other for the World Championship in the main event of your pay-per-view on the same team, helping each other, trying to be friends against two guys, Gates of Agony, who don't deserve this bullshit either. Those guys should be in their own match kicking somebody's ass because they both look phenomenal. Oh, my God. Swerve Strickland, the world champion, he's coming out here first. Back to the comments here. I don't know. I saw a video on Ricky Starks and Joe earlier. Of course you didn't watch it because you don't give a shit. This week's SmackDown is going to be good. Yeah, Drew, absolutely. This week's SmackDown is going to be absolutely survival. And because of your profile picture there, I'll put the one up for the most dominant world champion in modern wrestling history. Sean says Indianapolis is cool because I would go. Yeah, that is cool, bro. Anytime you can go to a pay-per-view, it is very cool. Will Ospreay, most popular wrestler in AEW, perhaps he's coming out here right now. I almost feel like ending this show at 10 o'clock on the dot because we 100% know what's going to happen here. Will Ospreay, Swerve, they're going to have some conflict, but because they're both so good, they're going to work through it. They're going to get the win. They're going to face off. Show's going to end. Literally, it's the most classic cliche ending that we're going to have on AEW this year, and I'm almost tempted to just not even give a shit about it, okay? I am very tempted to really not give a shit about it in any form, in any capacity, at all. At all. All right, I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. We are watching this match. It's getting ready to end. Dynamite. Swerve and Will look like they're going to get along. Gates of Agony making their way to the ring. This is going to be interesting to see if they can even get along at all. It looks like so far they are going to get along because they can't take these guys lightly. Gates of Agony are no joke. Big, strong men. But deadass, how excited are you about this main event? Like, is anybody even excited about this main event? There's no way you're excited about this main event. I'm not excited about this main event at all. No, I just been watching the media day so far. UFC 303. Those cards change so fast and so often. Guys either get hurt, get caught, get arrested. I really am not going to lie. I don't give one shit about this matchup right now. At all. Let me know in the chat if you do and why. Gates of Agony not wasting any time, jumping the gun, immediately going after both Will and Swerve Strickland. God damn, this match is crap. What a terrible main event. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just not into this main event right now. I bet you guys aren't either. NXT had a better main event than this shit. This is brutal. This is brutal. Unbelievable. Obviously, it's going to be a good match, though, when we get in the ring. Will Ospreay starts doing everything that he does. Gates of Agony have absolutely no shot in this match, though. It does, like, why would you want to shit on these guys? Why would you want to shit on these guys? Because that's all that's going to happen. I'm not happy about this at all. At all. My God, tomorrow night, make sure you're all here for the Savage Storm Super Wrestling Show. It's starting at 8 o'clock. We have a lot to talk about, and if I know DJ Storms as well as I think I do, I know that he is going to have a lot to say. Gable, maybe the new face of the WWE. What do you guys think about that? We'll be obviously previewing Forbidden Door. A lot of matches coming up at Forbidden Door all Sunday long. I'm really looking forward to that ladder match. I'm looking forward to MJF wrestling in his hometown. Don't give a shit about Mercedes Moné wrestling at all. Just don't. At all. Toni Storm taking on Mina. I would be shocked if Toni Storm loses this title, but I would actually appreciate it. Jon Moxley taking on Naito, and you got to imagine Jon Moxley's not losing that title anytime soon. Orange Cassidy taking on Zack Sabre Jr., and Zack Sabre just made Kyle O'Reilly tap out. So this match has me hyped right now. I think Zack Sabre is going to beat up Orange Cassidy. Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay. Very interesting here. What do we do here? Does Swerve stay champion, or do we put it on ultimate babyface Will Ospreay immediately? I don't know. Personally, I think Will Ospreay should win the title because he's just been better than Swerve on the mic and in the ring. But professionally, it's like I invested all this time and money in Swerve. I got to let him have more of a run. I got to let him be more of a champion. I got to let him establish a little bit more of a legacy before we rip the title off him. So I'm really stuck at a standstill right there. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm not going to stick around for the end of this match because I already know what's going to happen. You all know what's going to happen. And if you don't, we'll talk about it tomorrow night on the Savage Storm Super Wrestling Show. I appreciate you guys all being here and joining me. As always, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and let everybody know that you should never, ever want to be average. You want to be savage. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Yeah, let me do it.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, proud to you live as a champ. Our last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. Smackdown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Wrestling with Savage begins now.
Yeah, let me do it.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, proud to you live as a champ. Her last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. Smackdown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Wrestling with Savage begins now.
Everybody, welcome back to Wrestling with Savage, WWE Weekly Update. Can't wait to get into it. I'm going to bring in my special guest. Before I do, I'll just show a very nice picture of a recent accomplishment. So congratulations to Evil Kip for getting some gold out there in the world. Let's bring him in and say congratulations to you, sir. How you doing?
Clearly better than you, and you've already got the wrong introduction because I've already had gold. That's the Dropkick Depression heavyweight title. And I've added the Creative Pro Tag Team title to my already impressive resume. So already I have to correct the host of this show.
Oh, I was just happy that you got some gold here in the tri-state area, New York City, Creative Pro. It's nice to see it. I know you have other gold, but I'm talking about gold that actually matters to me. You wouldn't know nothing about that because you're not a real New Yorker.
Not a real New Yorker. You don't know where I'm from. I'm from an undisclosed location, and I wouldn't want to tell you where I'm from either. The last thing I want you doing is moving around near me and bringing down the property values.
I would never bring down the property value, first of all, so you know that. My stock's just going up. I don't know where you're coming from with that kind of accusation like that. That's nonsense.
One thing that's been going up is your cesspool levels from all the shit you're spewing.
Unbelievable that you don't understand that you're in the presence of greatness and have told other people, and I'll tell you this, you can't rush greatness. And I kind of respect that about you. You're grinding, you're taking your time. Are you greatness? Are you greatness? Do you consider yourself great?
Of course I do. And now I have gold 2 times over to prove it.
It's true.
So again, I can just keep on adding to the resume. I can let other people try and feel good about themselves. It all depends on what I want to do, when I want to do it.
Well, we're watching NXT right now, and I'm wondering when you're going to elevate your level and start getting in matches. Imagine a match with Evil Kip and Trick Williams, Sean Spears. Just from this screenshot, who would you rather have a match with?
Well, I mean, looking at, is he Sean Spears in NXT as well?
Yes, he is.
All right. See, the fact that I don't even know that shows you what I think about Sean Spears.
Wow.
And that stupid little haircut. I mean, it's something to have a landing strip on top of your head. You know, you're pretty much broadcasting your vices up front. So that'd be fun. As far as whoop that trick, one thing he won't be doing is whooping that Kip.
So you're saying he would not whoop that Kip?
He would not whoop that Kip.
I don't know about that. Trick Williams, tough competition. He's the current world champion right now, NXT. So
I'm taking nothing away from him. I'm not taking anything away.
What would be your strategy going against the Trick Williams, though?
You know what would be my strategy? I'd probably do some football plays because he washed out of professional football. That's why he is in NXT. Yeah, whoop that trick. You know, but you can't whoop that Kip.
Ouch. Ouch.
Didn't he play for the Eagles? Oh, a pathetic franchise.
Trick Williams, if you're out there, he says that you're not going to whoop that Kip. We'll find out maybe. Maybe we'll find out this year. Evil Kip should be in NXT. He's out here winning gold just like this. Doing the damn thing. Shitting on fans everywhere, as you should. And this was the match here where the gold was won?
Yeah, against Adrenaline Express. I will say, to give credit where credit is due, one of the competitors in that match, VSK, VSK, when the match was released, said the greatest Creative Pro Tag Team match of all time. And he was the loser of it. So that lets you know how great the match was.
Well, someone in the chat says he wants me to set up Moody versus Evil Kip. So you got a challenge already here on the Savage Kingdom. Sean Moody?
Who the hell is Moody?
Sean Moody's a rabid Marty Jannetty fan.
That's embarrassing. I'm sorry to hear that.
Unbelievable. How could you disrespect Marty Jannetty like that?
Is he still active?
I'll get Marty Jannetty right now. He'll have something to say to you, sir.
I have met Marty Jannetty once.
My God.
I'm not going to disparage the, Marty Jannetty. He's a legend. I will say he does not remember the encounter, and it's not because he met a lot of people that day. That's all I'm going to say about Marty Jannetty.
Marty Jannetty's meeting people all day long, whether you see them or not. They're there, brother. Someone's talking to him. Trust me. He hears the voices like Randy Orton. And right now we're watching NXT. Who do you got in this matchup? We got Idris Sanofi, Malik Blade, and it looks like they were just eliminated. So Tyler Bate and my boy over here, Pete Dunne or Butch, whatever they're calling him nowadays, are going against Angel Garza, looks like, and Humberto.
All right, so apparently this is a gauntlet match. So they're just going to keep on bringing in teams left and right, and they are starting off with a hockey fight. Man, all I can say is this. If any of those punches hit me, I would just laugh and then get the pin right away from any of these four competitors.
You got to admit, these are four top-of-the-line competitors, though. These guys are good.
Yeah, well, I think the team that's wearing green will win this match.
That's cute. I like that. That's a good prediction. A betting man would take that. But nonetheless, all four of these guys, I look at them as individual talents. I feel like they're better as individuals than tag team partners. And that's a question I have for you. Do you see yourself having more success long-term as a solo guy or as a tag team guy?
That's a great question. I always considered myself a solo competitor, but I've always been forced in tag teams. With that being said, I will give credit where credit